Okay, so today we are going to talk about how to build your Weebly portfolio. This will be a major part of your midterm and final exams and are just an important part of developing as an artist in this class. So in Google Classroom, there is a PDF posted that explains the instructions to you. Okay, when you open that up, you'll see some links here. And you will go to students.weebly.com, and this is where you will be able to log in. And apparently this is being weird today. All right, let's try Safari. You will be provided a username and password in class. Most of them, I tried to keep them with just your name, like your first initial and last name, but okay, so I will log in. Okay, so when you first initially log in, this is what it will look like. Okay, so it's first going to ask you to create a subdomain. If you wanted a website that was just like, yourname.com, you could do that, but that costs money. So we just want the free website, so we do that by using the subdomain of Weebly.com. So in here, you should type in something that is easy to type, easy to spell, easy to remember, and easy to convey whose site it belongs to. So you don't want to come up with some like weird, jumble of letters or anything like that. So I would probably go with first initial, last name. This is available for right now, so I'm just going to take it. You could add, a few letters or numbers after it if you wanted to. You could change it to your full name in the beginning. Is that good? Okay, that's good. So you can change this to later, so don't worry too much about it. But for right now, it should be something that makes sense and somehow has your name in it. Okay? And then this is what will look like when you are ready to start. So a couple different things that you guys can do first is you can play around with the theme. So this is just a generic theme. If you click on theme at the top there, you get to all of these different layouts, and they're quite lovely, very conducive to images. So really whatever you choose will be good. They're featured. You can click on portfolio, see what those look like. And they have some samples too that are actually by, photographers and the such. So anyway, pick one that you like. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep it with the regular one. You can change colors if you wanted to. So that is a theme. So if we go back to build, this is our home page. So as soon as someone types in your URL that you've created, which is that domain name, this is what it will look like. Okay, so you can change here. You can call it my portfolio, whatever you want to call it. Here you could put your name, I'll do. Okay. One thing you guys have to keep in mind is any images that you use in the website must be your own work. So you may not use anything that comes as part of the theme or one of their stock images. So to do that, you just click on the image, click on edit background, and then you can add an image. So these are all their stock images, and these are not going to be ones that we use. So you're going to click down here at upload image. And if you have something open, if you have your folder open with all of your final images, you can just click on it and drag it in. So I'm going to do that. These are my orchids. They finally bloomed again. Okay, and then let's say I like it, like the image. Actually, maybe I'll move No, maybe I'll leave it where it was. Kind of looks good with the text there. Okay, and then hit save at the top right corner. Okay, so that's what that looks like now. You can play around with the font a little bit. You could change the color. Where's the color? Here's the color. So you could go, with an orchidy color, although it's hard to read. So maybe you want to make it bold and make it, white. So it's a little bit easier to read. Okay. And you can actually create an image specifically for this purpose if you wanted to, where you could, edit it so it becomes sort of abstract and is more conducive to your image. Okay, so let's say I like that. Now here you see it says drag elements here. And this is where you can pick up these things and add them to your page. So the first thing you should do is drag over. So you just click on title, you just drag that over. And this is where you're going to type your artist statement. So this could be like an about me or like welcome to my portfolio, whatever you want it to say. Okay, this is your site. So you have a little bit of creative leeway there. Then you will add a text box right under that. So you'll see that blue line, that's sort of the divider, and it's going to add text. And this is where your artist statement will go. We haven't written those yet, but when we do, with the next project, this is where that will go. So this will be an introduction about who you are as an artist and all of that. Okay. Now, when I'm adding all this text and stuff like that, notice there's no save button up here anymore. There's only a publish button. Okay, Weebly automatically saves your pages as you're working, which is great. So if, the bell just rings, you could just quickly close out of it and all your work is saved. It's not a big deal. And then you can also go back and you can undo certain things. There's different ways to do that, which we'll get into later. But anyway, so now that you have sort of your home page done, you want to add pages. So you go up to the top bar here, click on pages. You click on the little plus sign. We're going to add a standard page. This will actually be your portfolio. You could call it portfolio. You could call it gallery. You could call it whatever you want, as long as it makes sense. Don't call it Superman or whatever. Okay, and then hit done. And then we're going to add another page. We're going to add a blog page. You could call this my blog, my journal, whatever you want. All right, and then hit done. Now, when I click back onto gallery and click back on build, it will take me to my gallery. So here I could decide to change the image, or for consistency, leave it the same. Maybe I want to make it smaller again. And you can call this my gallery. All right, whatever you want to call it. Most important thing that you guys do here is add a gallery. All right, and this is where you're going to be able to upload all of your images. So if I click here, I can actually go here. These are all the images I want to add. So I'm going to hit Command A so that they're all selected. Click and drag and drop them right in here, and it's going to upload them all at the same time. Now, if you have your stuff in separate folders, you can upload them individually. It's not a big deal. Either way is fine. Okay. So I just pulled a bunch of random images from my Google Photos to put in here just for demonstration purposes. So, and it takes a minute. Obviously, the larger the file size, the more files you have, the longer it's going to take. It also depends on how slow your internet is at home, as in my case right now. Okay, and now that that is all done, there are some different options you have with your gallery. You can change the amount of columns. So if you want to make them larger images on the screen, you could change it to 2. So now it's 2 columns, so now the thumbnails are quite large. You could change the spacing between them. Top margin. I'll just leave it like the way it is, I think. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, we'll just leave it. And you guys can tweak all this stuff later. This is not super important right now. So we're going to display the caption on the hover. Okay. So now if I click on an image, I actually can click right up here where it says caption. Okay. So you want to be able to add captions to your images because you want to describe them. So I'm going to call this, you could give it a title. You could put the date that you took the image. Then you could write a little description about maybe what you did. Very brief, not a lot needs to go here. So I'm going to call this Panorama of Fresh Perspectives 2016. And it was from May, I think. May of 2016. And then just hit done. So now see if I hover over it, it tells me what it is. If I click on the image, later on when you see the final portfolio, you'll see what that looks like. So again, you just click here, click on the image, add a caption, ceramic creatures. And that was taken, I think it was in March of 2016, and done. Okay, so on and so forth. The next thing you guys can do is go back to your pages, which lists, which lists your pages, and now here is your weekly blog entry here. So we're going to call this weekly blog. So you can also change the image on each of your pages. You can save them on all of your pages, or just select the individual pages that you want to save a new image to. So that's something you guys can consider as well. So I'm just going to get rid of that. So this is what the blog will look like. Here's a little bit about the author. You could just write something, you know, I'm a junior, blah, blah, blah. I enjoy taking photographs of whatever. Basically like 2 sentences from your artist statement from the original page. Okay. So in the instruction sheet, there are, for this marking period, 3 dates by which you need to have a weekly blog post. So using your daily blogs, the daily journal that you started last week, you can use those prompts or those questions to start writing the weekly blogs. So you just need one a week. You can do them on a Friday, you can do them on a Monday, as long as they're posted by the 3 dates that I have listed. You can include pictures in your entries. You can include works in progress, like I'm working on this image right now and I really like how it's coming along, you know, whatever it is. Okay, so you're going to click on the bottom right hand corner, new post. Okay, so what did we work on? We worked on white balance last week. We worked on the one spot challenges or the one object challenges. So think of a creative title, you know, one object, okay, and the date will automatically appear. So now again, just like on your home page, it has this drag elements here. So this is the dotted line, shows you where you can drag your elements. So you can add text, which obviously that's the most important part of a blog, right, is the words. So here you might explain, you know, what are you working on? What did you learn? What did you struggle with? What did you accomplish this week? What do you still have questions about? You know, what do you plan to work on next week? That kind of thing. And you can also add images. You can also add like a mini gallery if you wanted to. So let's say I want to add an image. Maybe I just want to include the contact sheet from the pumpkin and apple project to help me explain, you know, what I learned from that process. And you could refer to images. Like I really like the one on the, you know, the third row, fourth column, you know, whatever it is. So that's pretty much it for that. So here is, okay. And then when you're done, you can hit post, which will automatically post it to your site, or you can just hit save, which will save it as a draft. You can go back and work on it later. And really, you shouldn't really be spending more than 20 minutes on these a week. Okay, so just pick a day, sit down and do it. You know, while we're working on various projects, you'll have plenty of time to get this stuff done. And of course, you can do them from home if you feel more comfortable doing so. If you do it from home, but you wanted to include an image, then you would hit save, open it up the next day in class, and then you'd be able to upload your images that way. So I'm just going to hit post, but it's not yet live because my site is not published yet. Okay, so I'm going to hit close because I knew that. Okay, so let's see, where do I want to go? You could also turn this off if you wanted to. Actually, I probably like that better. Okay, anyway, so it's up to you guys, again, how this works, how this looks. There's lots of different things you can add. You could add a slideshow to the front page if you wanted to, where you could include, you know, rotating images. Excuse me, sorry. And then as we go through the year, we're going to add additional pages. We're going to add maybe some sub pages. We're going to add separate galleries within your main gallery. We'll break it up, you know, midterm portfolio, final exam portfolio, you know, whatever we need to do. All right, so let's say I'm happy. Everything's been saved. Oh, I should also say real quick before, for your blogs, they will not automatically save. That is the one thing that does not automatically save. So you do have to hit save for your blog posts. Okay. So let's say I'm happy. I've got my images posted. I worked on my captions. I'm going to hit publish. Okay. And here again, you could change your domain if you needed to. If you're like, ooh, I misspelled my name, or, oh, wait, I want to add something or change something. Just make sure it's still available. And when you're all ready to go, you hit continue. And now it's publishing the site. And now this is what I will see when I look at your websites, okay? Or what your friends and family will see when you show them your sites, okay? So if I click on gallery, I see my images. I can hold my mouse over it and see, oh, this is ceramic creatures. Great. If I click on the image, it'll blow it up and I'll see the full image and also see the caption underneath, okay? And then you can always go back and, like, once you publish it, you're like, oh, I don't really like how this looks. I want to change something. Go back here. Very easy to do. Just change what you want to do and hit publish again. Not a big deal at all. Okay? And that should do it. So by the end of this week, I want you guys to have these started with at least 5 images. Obviously, you don't need to write your artist statement yet because we're not doing that yet. And you will need to have 1 weekly journal post in there as well. Okay, so have fun with these. Pick a cool theme, make it your own, make it something you're proud of so you can show off all your amazing work this year. Okay, so have fun and good luck. Thanks for watching.